everyone, welcome back to the Piggy Wiggies YouTube channel, or welcome if you are new. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope it is educational, and let's get into the video. A big thank you to Kubica for the music in today's video. So today's video is going to be, unfortunately, my failed rebonding of my 3 guinea pigs, Heidi, Phoebe, and Maggie, after Heidi was separated from the group. So, unfortunately, this took a turn for, I'm not gonna say the worst, but pretty bad. So, in this beginning of the video, I have some footage of the girls just playing, and that's why I didn't think this was gonna be a problem. In the first, I want to say 20 minutes, I didn't add all the footage. After you've seen 5 minutes of them being normal, I think you get the point. Just trust me when I say the first 20 minutes of them being in the cage was absolutely fine. There was some dominant behavior, there was some chasing, there was a little bit of bullying, and I think that was my first mistake. Okay, I'm gonna go over my mistakes. We wouldn't have known if this was gonna go as badly as it did if I did it another way. We don't know, so I don't want to blame myself, but I do want to point out some differences that I did versus what other people have done with successful bondings. Okay, so that was one of my first mistakes, that I didn't pay really close attention to the bullying or the chasing, just because my girls have done that in the past and everything has been fine. My first mistake was that I just let them be in their cage. Now, I did clean their cage. It was fresh bedding, fresh everything. I disinfected it. It was a neutral space. So, like everything else was neutral, but the space, the cage, how I set up the cage wasn't neutral. It is very highly suggested that a bonding takes place in a 100% neutral area. So, the very, very first time I bonded my 3 girls, which was almost a year ago now, I did it in the bathtub. And they were fine, and the bathtub is bigger than their cage. So they had plenty of space to run around. And it was a neutral space where they could not get territorial over it. This time, I just let them go in their cage. Okay, so what I was saying was that it was not 100% neutral. So, in my defense, I have done this before. They were separated back when Maggie had mites. She was separated for a week, I think, until I could get a vet visit. I did this before and it turned out okay. There was no blood, there was a little bit of bullying, but nothing to be overly concerned about. I just opened the cage. I had 2 sections of the cage, and I just opened one section of the cage, and they had the whole cage, and they were fine. Deep breaths, deep breaths. I am going to say this next part of the video is the fight. So please watch it with caution. I am not going to do any commentary. I am just going to let you watch it. Hey! No! I thought it would be okay this time. But obviously I was proven wrong. And if I wasn't proven wrong, then we wouldn't be making this video. So this time, I took down the barrier and I set up the cage how I normally would. And the first 20 minutes, they were fine. And I'm not sure what set Heidi off, but something set her off, and I heard rumbling, and it happened so fast between the rumbling and the actual fight that I couldn't get to them to stop the rumbling. And as soon as the fight happened, I separated them. I put Heidi in her carrier, and I checked Maggie over and she didn't have any bites. And then I checked Phoebe over and she had a bite and it looked like a tooth went in. Like she was bit. There wasn't any blood on the blankets, around the cage, nothing like that. There was just a hole in her skin. And I called the vet right away. I said I don't know how bad the wound is. And they gave me an email. I sent them some pictures, and the vet called me back probably 20 minutes later and said, yeah, it's not as serious as needing surgery or stitches, but it is bad enough that you need to come in and we need to start her on antibiotics. So that was my Tuesday afternoon. I got to the vet and the vet called me about 10 minutes after I gave them Phoebe and it healed. The hole, the wound, had healed itself. Between the fight and getting her to the vet, I want to say it was maybe 4 hours. She's fine. I started her on antibiotics. She's still taking the antibiotics, but it has healed. So I have a miracle pig on my hands, guys. So Heidi is still separated from the two other girls, Maggie and Phoebe, and Heidi is in her other little space that she was when I separated her the first time. So that is it for today's video. I'm not gonna say I hope you enjoyed, because those videos and those pictures are pretty hard to watch. I am going to say I hope it was educational. I hope I summarized quickly what my mistakes were, and I hope you learn from them and don't do my mistakes. So I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye, guys.